Hi, this is Lulu from Gut Feeling Holistic Health Coaching, and I have a question for you. Do you have any bad habits that, whilst you're doing them, you absolutely hate yourself for it? I do. I can think of more than a couple of things that I wish I didn't do, and I get frustrated with myself for. I've definitely been in the place in my life in the past where I just hated myself for some of the habits I was stuck in. I taught a meditation retreat this weekend and chatted to a woman there who was leaving and saying, "Oh, thank you for teaching us this meditation. I'm really trying to be healthy and I need to go have a smoke." And she felt ashamed and angry at herself and embarrassed to admit that to me. We talked for a little while about it. And she talked about smoking alone on her patio, like hoping nobody would see her because she was so ashamed of it. I asked her if she had tried mindful smoking, and she looked more than a little bit shocked. She said, "That's a cheeky idea. Like, how could we bring mindfulness to something that we hate so much and just wish wasn't there?" I mean, that's the thing with these habits, right? We're using them to cover up something we don't want to feel or don't want to think about. And yet, by definition, these bad habits of ours are things that don't feel good and aren't helping us move forward in the direction we want to go in our lives. They're not positive. They're not aligned with wellness and wholeness and health. And we know it. It doesn't matter whether the addiction for any one of us in particular is the cigarettes, the glass of wine after work that became a bottle of wine every night, the Instagram addiction that has us scrolling for hours when we swore we were going to play with the kids today when we got home, food, alcohol, drugs, sex, online gambling, pornography. Any of these things can become bad habits that are crutches to help us deal with things that we don't feel like we have the resources to deal with ourselves. We may not have the capacity to handle the level of anxiety, the level of shame or depression we feel, the level of emotional pain. And we look to these habits to help numb us out or make us feel better for a minute. So in that way, they're really serving a purpose. We might be substituting one habit for another and actually moving ourselves forward. Quitting crack cocaine and becoming a knitting addict is probably a move in the right direction. But you're out of balance with it if you're spending every spare penny on yarn and don't have time for your family and, stop eating well. Like, we can become addicted to anything. We can have bad habits of anything that are keeping us locked in a cage. But the thing is, nobody ever got out of that cage by hating themselves out of it. That doesn't work. Any of us who have tried swearing we won't, whatever, drink, smoke, fuck a stranger at a club, eat another cookie, eat 10 more cookies. We've sworn we're not going to do it before, and we keep doing it anyway. So swearing it off doesn't help. Hating it doesn't help. Hating ourselves for it doesn't help. So like I told this woman, and as I work with many of my clients around, why not try mindfulness? Why not try bringing the tools of compassion, and the caring of compassion and the clarity of mindfulness to really investigating our bad habits, getting curious about them. We could begin by reminding ourselves, yeah, this stuff's really hard, and I'm trying hard, and I feel bad that I can't quite shake it. We bring that heart sense of compassion and care. Then we bring mindfulness and curiosity. What had me reaching for a smoke this time? What is it really like to pound back that shot of vodka hoping my kids don't walk in the bathroom? Like, how does it feel going down my throat? How does it feel in my belly afterwards? How does it feel an hour later when the binge wears off and I just ate way too much? Like, the numbing doesn't work forever, the emotional numbing. And that's when we either have to start again with another stab at our habit or try something new. And when we bring compassion and mindfulness to how we relate with our habits, we expand the space that lets us try something new. It may not transform everything right away, but even if all it does is let us continue with our bad habit with less self-hatred, I think that's a really good thing. Because eventually, as we learn to love ourselves more and more, and we gain more and more clarity about why we're choosing these things and how it feels when we do, these habits can begin to loosen up. Some of them will fall away entirely. Some of them we'll keep working with. But I'm curious to hear how it goes for any of you if you try bringing compassion and mindfulness to the bad habits where you're stuck. Please leave a comment for me below. Reach me on my website and send a private message if you're more comfortable with that. I'd really love to hear how it goes for you with this. I've seen it work. These tools have worked for me. But I always love hearing success stories, or we'll call them challenges, questions from people who aren't sure it's going to work for them. Until then, thanks for listening, and please be easy with yourself. You're doing a great job.